Sit down. I'd like to have you meet my son, Larry.
There are some advantages to all-night work. Advantages are you can go to sporting events, you can go to theater, you can have very nice dinners with people, and I like all that.
Into the zone, good drop off for Holt, back to Gustafson, shot to goal!
I'm convinced it's not the world's best thing for your health, that it has to take, there have been studies done that the all-night worker lives about a year less than the regular population. Your body metabolism is operating off different things. See, most people get up and go to work. I get up and don't go to work. The last thing I do every day is go to work.
You'll be sitting over here.
I don't meet the guests before I go on. I mean, it's a perfunctory hello. What do you think of the weather? And then we go on. I like that much better. The less prepared, specifically prepared I am, the better I feel. I don't like to read biographies of people. I like to discover things as they happen, and then the audience and I discover it together.
From the nation's capital, you're listening to The Larry King Show. Portions of this program are repeated in the Pacific Time Zone. Once again, Network Radio's #1 interviewer, Larry King.
Thank you, Fred Lowery. Good evening, everybody. On this Tuesday night, Wednesday morning across the United States, this is the Larry King Show, coast to coast on Mutual. Our special guest tonight is a gentleman who's written his own chapter in American history, John Dean. I never know the first question I'm going to ask a guest. I'm coming on the air saying good evening. My guest tonight is, I have no idea what that question's going to be. And I like spontaneity. That's the kind of broadcaster I am. John, let's go back and then we'll trace this extraordinary post-Watergate thing you capture in Lost Honor. What was it like to have been a young, successful person and to have dreams come true and then be in jail?
Shattering, needless to say. In fact, when I
always had the ability to get people to respond to me in a one-on-one situation. I have never had a problem with it, but I don't take any credit for it because I didn't do anything to work at it. You have bitterness toward Nixon?
Not really. I think that's a lot of weight to carry around that I really have no desire to carry.
Toward anyone?
Not really.
Are you aware that there's a man walking around who hates you, G. Gordon Liddy? I mean, if you mention your name to G. Gordon Liddy, it's bizarre.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
Now, I think interviewing is a natural attribute. I don't think you could teach it. I don't think you could make someone... You can give someone some rules, but if someone is not naturally curious, if they're not sincerely interested in what the guest has to say, forget it. And you can't teach that. But the conclusion is what to you?
Without a doubt, to me, there's only one person.
I've never gotten ever tired of it because every night of my life I meet somebody new. Not only meet them, but get a chance to spend 3 hours with somebody who is guaranteed interesting. We'll be right back with John Dean. The book is Lost Honor. I like Jimmy Carter. It was very funny. After about 10 minutes, I never got a presidential feeling around him. He felt like my very bright next-door neighbor who had events overwhelm him. Bob Hope's a difficult interview. He's been very good to me, and I've had him on a lot, and he's been a good friend, and he's very nice to me. But Bob Hope does not want to, at all, get into himself. You know, Chuck exudes liking people. If someone did not like Chuck Mangione, something would be wrong with them. Chuck lights up a room. We're ready to go to your phone calls for John Dean, Kunkel, Ohio. Hello.
Hello. Mr. Dean, at the conclusion of the...
I'm not a personal service for the caller. A lot of shows treat callers that way. I mean, you hear a caller on for 6-7 minutes and patronizing them. Thank you for calling and wonderful. Please call again. How nice to hear from you, or this baloney. You're the show, man. You make this program. Baloney, you don't make this program. This program is made by the guest, the host, a combination of things. You're a participant. Fine. You don't make it. You made 2 minutes of it. Period. You don't own this program. This program, I host the show. Well, my daughter's most important. You know, I'm raising her now, and she goes to private school in Maryland. She's doing very well, and that makes me very proud because I was able to show that I could do that, and that I find that she's all-consuming to me.
first.
I find also that I'm the kind of father I said I would never be, which is I'm a doting father. I'm a Jewish father. And my mother used to be that way to me, and I'm that way to her.
They've got a half mile to run.
The beautiful thing about sports, the magical thing about sports is we don't know the outcome. There's a lot about our lives we know, but basically life, a lot of life is rudimentary. But in sports, there's no one who can tell you who's going to win. So there is that wonderful element of surprise.
Once again, here's Larry.
With John Dean, Birmingham, Alabama. Hello.
Dean, I have a couple of questions, please.
I love communicating. I just love transmitting things to people. I love asking questions to people. I never get tired of it. You know, I was on a show in Miami recently. I guested on a show.
Well, let's start
And the
with
host
actor,
said,
the Night Watchman. I think
he says, gee, I've been doing this 20 years, and you've been doing it 25. He said, I don't know how you do it. He said, I've asked all the questions, and I've heard all the answers. Well, I've never felt that way. I have not asked all the questions, and I have not heard all the answers. And if I did feel that way, I would quit.